Hey guys, it's the History Nerd, and we are back with another exciting episode of Victoria 2, Heart of Darkness, Italy. Alright, now, those history. Man, first off, I don't know why YouTube considered your post as spam, but I rectified that today. A lot of good points. First things, well, we're paused. We are definitely gonna need a naval base in Yemen. Without question, that is a great idea. We're also going to take a look at the military in Africa, because, as you say, we can now build African infantry. So, yeah, I mean, we might as well get those guys going. That's Asia, so really that's it for Africa. That is a shame, but still, you know, it's something, so that's good. And I know that I've got cores on all these Italian lands that I could easily go to war with Austria without them, but I've never actually used these flashpoints before, so I kind of want to do that. That's really the only reason why that's going on. So yeah, that's why we're doing that. And there was one other point. The government change. Yes. I guess I could do the government change now, because the election's going to take care of it. But considering the nature of just the way Italy's gone, I don't necessarily want to go off and just randomly start changing the ruling government. The last thing I want to do is to wind up in a situation where I've got another revolution that I can't fight off. So as much as I complain about the economy, I realize, you know, there are things that I can do to fix it, but I'm not going to do anything to fix it. I'd rather have something to complain about, is basically it. Well, it's not really basically it, but, I guess, yeah, it's just kind of going with it. If the people decide to elect a government where I can plop down the industry, or we get like a socialist or communist revolution, I'm all for it. But, in the meantime, yeah, I'm not gonna mess around with that. What I am gonna do, though, because we got the money, I realize, you know, maybe people might want to go work in the fabric factory that's losing a absolute ridiculous amount of money. But, yeah, let's get the pharmaceutical company, which is a lot like the, what was it, the United Fruit Company? Yeah, it's a lot like that. I won't argue that, but hey, we've got our source of opium now, so we don't even really need to listen to their demands anymore. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this game unpaused. Now that I've gone on for 3 minutes without really doing anything. For that I do apologize. Made in where? Artisans in Campania fear for their livelihoods. In every small stall in every market, there seems to be more and more goods stocked from abroad. We understand the concerns, but times are changing. We'll have to adapt. Maybe you guys might want to start building a factory for ships? A ship factory. I guess, really, we could go with naturalization for immigration. That might not be a bad idea. Or proportional representation. Or universal. You know what? Screw it. Let's just go with universal. Yes. Yeah, let's get more people going for planned economies. Or at the very least, state capitalism. Because that would be nice to have happen. One ship. Oh. There we go. Patriots and pacifists are fighting in the townhouse, using words to hurt and kill their enemies. A long since Dedenberg dispute between Italy and its neighbor has once again shown its ugly head. No doubt the tensions were raising with Austria. Patriots wish to invade the country, while pacifists believe there are other ways to resolve the dispute. Oh, but we're patriots. Nothing's taking that away from us. Let's head over to Africa and just see. I guess the rest of the African army is down there. We full citizenship? There's no real limited, so we'll essentially endorse full citizenship. And really what I needed there was not an infantry unit, but an artillery unit. So let's get that sorted. Can we build normal artillery in Africa? Ooh. Oh my. Conservatives and reactionaries. Let's do that. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, this might not be the best idea I've had. Or it might be absolutely genius. I have no idea what the difference between mobile artillery and other sorts of artillery are. Oh dear. Oh, that was not a smart move. Well, let's give it a day. Or 2 or 3. Just to be like, hey, those pops, yeah, they're back to being opened. Whew! Okay. Really? Okay, well then we'll just go with those 2. And at least, you know, our artillery's getting a little bit better. It also looks like we're gonna need 8 Clipper transports down for Africa. Right, because I guess we could take those guys, although they need to repair before going around, you know, the entire continent again. So let's see, can we build some navies in Africa? Hey! Our intrepid explorers have mapped out the source of the Nile and have brought glory and prestige to our great country. That is amazing. I like that. I support that fully. So to do this, we're going to need 8 of them, right? So 2, 4, 6, 8. There we go. And we'll tell the African ships to meet up there. And there shouldn't be any weird voyages with them going to any other rally points, I hope. We'll keep our eye on it. I think that's it for Africa. I think we're good there. And Macaran. Increase to friendly. Conservatives declare victory. Let's check. I'm sure it's the same conservatives as always. Interventionism. Indeed. Expand the factories, but not build them. So, actually, you know what? It looks like even if we wanted to, we couldn't set ruling parties. We are a constitutional monarchy, but I guess we're, you know, so constitutional that we can't just set our parties, which is fine. I'm fine with that. So we need him removed. Not just removed, but removed good, you see? We don't want him no more. He's bad news, I tell ya. The mill workers trade union in one of our provinces are protesting against a factory manager accused of abusing his workers, even going so far as to beat with canes whenever they happen to trigger his highly personal definition of laziness. We could remove the manager, but the mill owner insists that he does a very good job. He goes. Goodbye. Can't have people beating people with canes. It's ridiculous. That's 1880. So, what else was it we needed? Oh, no. We gotta check this way, right? So, for indigenous garrisoning, machine guns, main armament. Can we get to main armament? We could. So that would be helpful. That was indigenous garrisoning. There was another one, I think, in nationalism and imperialism on the Dark Continent, biologism, military logistics, and steel steamers. Okay, well, that's easy enough. Biologism. Perfect. We'll get that on the go. And hopefully soon we can get those life ratings up so we can start colonizing. In the meantime, let's check on our flashpoint. We're at 10%, which is pretty groovy. I wanted diplomacy, actually. I think the Prussians are still pretty friendly with us. We could look to somebody like maybe Belgium or Sweden for another alliance. I don't think France is going to be all that interested. Definitely not. No, we won't go intensive farming. Because it'll wind up biting us in the ass, I bet. So, is Prussia... I think Prussia's just really allied with all of the little German states. Yeah. Why can't you just form the North German Confederation and then we can be done with that ugly, ugly listing of military alliances for Prussia? A colonial regiment in one of our colonies has had an encounter with a regiment from another colonial power. We are not going to go to war with the United Kingdom. We are not ready for that by any stretch of the imagination. But what we should check... The 1872 World's Fair in Rome. The venue is complete and the World's Fair may begin. About freaking time. Considering all the nastiness that was going on. Okay, let's see here. Where is Austria? 129 and we're at 85. So we could definitely do to increase our stuff in Europe. So let's see. So that's 3, 4, 5. Not a round number for increasing our militaries to be, you know, even with our force distribution, but that's okay. So what do we want? What do we want? We could go 2 more infantry, 2 more artillery, and then, we'll leave that for now. That should be okay. I wonder, what are all my focuses? Clergymen, clerks, increasing tension, shipping industry, and attracting immigrants. All right. What I might want to do is take immigrants off of Honduras, because I think Honduras is doing okay now. We haven't seemed to have any sort of problems with them, so average, oh dear. Months after the dust has settled, the Italian World's Fair is considered to have been forgettable, but by no means a disaster. Well, that's not fun. Yeah, this is mostly... It doesn't even look like immigrants are coming to Honduras, so we might as well stop that and start getting some soldiers up in here. Oh, hold on. All of these guys are going to wind up going here, aren't they? Okay, let's turn that off, because I gotta do this like that. And do we have any others? I don't think so. Not on Italy proper, so that's good. Just want to make sure the forces get distributed evenly, because I'm not anal about many things in life, but I like having my armies in roughly equal stacks. Now I'm guessing all these ships ringing their bells is our transport fleet coming together. Perfect. Well, we got enough ships there now, so let's sail you on down here, and what we can even do is turn that off and turn that on. There we go. So that'll actually really help with the army here. Having actual real artillery will be very nice. Especially for going to war against the Congo, is basically what I'm thinking. And let's check on our industry. Oh dear. For some reason, it would appear our massive clothing industry has collapsed. So let's subsidize the crap out of these and get those built up. Because as it stands right now, you know, we're going to have a lot of people leaving, you know, industries that are basically our own. Alto Paraguay, we have no concerns with that. Okay, let's pause this. We got basic shipbuilding R&D. That's good. Monitors, that's okay. If we could build... let's see. What is this crisis? Acquire Alto Paraguay from who? I unfortunately don't know my South American flags well enough So there's Paraguay. So where's Alto Paraguay? I'm guessing... Well, where's the land that you guys want? This don't make no sense. Alto Paraguay. You have it. So it's someone else who wants it. Bolivia? Is that who's coming to me? Regardless, I don't want to get involved. Now that I've seen what's going on, there's no point in me getting involved in that. Yeah. Oh well, the US backed Bolivia, but nobody backed the other side. Deep shaft mining. Wow, we don't need any more soldiers here. Okay. Let's remove that focus and maybe go with, not Campania, but how about Italian Sicily? Encourage soldiers. 3.5? That even seems a bit too much. Tuscany, maybe? 3 3/4. Romagna. 3.5. I don't think going after Sardinia would be a good idea. So what about Puglia? It seems to me like perhaps everything, you know, is kind of working out for the better here. So one thing I know we do need, and we'll do it in Puglia here, which I think was here. We will encourage an arms industry. Right? Or maybe basic industry? Because, well, we could go armaments. No, I think we'll go with basic industry in Puglia. So we'll see if that can do anything to help things out. Although maybe a gun... Yeah, if they've got gunpowder, it might be a better bet to go with an armaments industry in here. And what we could do is, you know, like close down the cement factory. We don't need another cement factory, and that would give us a huge amount of workers. But we don't have any projects on the go. Could be because we don't have a lot of workers in the area. So that might not be a bad idea. We'll consider further, obviously. Alright, so we've got our artillery done. That's good news. We'll get that divided up between the two armies. We can't act. We're not closing down bars. That's not our style. I'm getting a little bit worried here. The Ottoman Empire has been in slow decline for much of the last century, but never has this been more apparent than in recent years. The empire's hold in the Balkans is weakening, and this threatens to upset the entire balance of power in Eastern Europe, as Russia and other countries will inevitably be drawn into the conflict. Many in the Italian government feel that it falls on us to call the powers of Europe together and negotiate a settlement that will restore some semblance of stability in the area. Yes, we will. Why not? Let's get involved. And really, the Balkans, kind of a critical area for, you know, potential Italian expansion in Europe. It's really one of the only areas where we could expand if we wanted to. Save, of course, for the land that we actually deserve up in Austria. One thing I will do, now that those guys are all together, I will move them up north to help out a little bit. And unfortunately, we can't get higher fort levels. But at least Austria is on the same page that we are. So that does help. And once biologism comes through, you know, we'll look at maybe getting military plans or some iron breech-loaded artillery or point defense systems for the fortresses. Something to get our military up, because we will be going to war soon. I hope, anyway. There we go. Looks like Antonio Deza there is a spitting image of Robert E. Lee. And Roberto Sacchi looks like That dude. I don't know who that is. But I certainly know that guy is Robert E. Lee. Well, the Italian version in this case. Hopefully, he'll be just as good of a leader. He does look pretty good. Stats-wise. Not too bad, but that morale hit, that does kind of worry me. Let's see if we can find someone a bit better. There we go. The light of democracy. The threats to the modern world are many. Communism, fascism, tyranny in all forms. If the free and democratic nations of the world are to survive, they must stand together. Yep. With a little colony down in South America, for instance. Why not? Let's sort. And let's start dumping things in. Although it certainly does look like the UK is concentrating on them, and that makes sense. But I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. If the UK doesn't actually want them, we will happily step in. Okay, so we've got that set. So I guess what we could do now then is do some more cavalry. I don't know if we really need 4, but or maybe a couple of units of infantry would be better. Yeah, let's go with infantry, and then the next round we can just do some more artillery. There we go. Getting that military tech score up. I'd really like these commerce raiders to go. Oh, we've got a little bit of progress. We've got 0.03 steamer convoys. That's huge. Absolutely huge. Let's see how things are going here. Yeah, the clothing industry's definitely kind of collapsed, which sucks. But it looks like all of our craftsmen managed to find some kind of work. Or, you know, things. What do we got? Maybe... Would you quit it? No! No! Oh man, okay. Let's pause this. Open that back up. Although we don't need a clothing factory in Fugala really, because we've got the big one. I guess it's not really a big one anymore, but you know, it's decent sized. And nobody's working it, so yeah, we'll shut that down. That was okay. That's fine. All I want you to do is build ships. Cheers! Okay, well, I'll admit, we do need bronze. But we don't need another canned food factory. You guys are upgrading the paper mill. Fine. It exists. We'll let you do it. What are you hung up on? Small arms. Well, that's a concern. Okay, we've got it. Planning for the Congress. Now that the plans for the conference in Rome are underway, Italian statesmen are busy trying to determine what our stance on the issue should be. Some feel we should favor keeping the Ottoman Empire strong in the interest of preventing the Russians from expanding into the Middle East. This could potentially improve our relations with the Ottomans as well. Others believe stability in the Balkans should be the priority, even though this might come at the expense of the Ottomans and our relationship with them. I think stability in the Balkans is more important than keeping the Ottoman Empire strong, so we'll go that route. Sometimes you just gotta, you know, realize when empires are gonna collapse. Although I've got to say, the Ottoman Empire is still a big empire. So, you know, it might be a bit rude of us to say they should collapse, but you know what? They should collapse. That wonderful steam hissing sound showing off our infrastructure. The great railroads getting completed. There we go. Look at that. These stacks, they're becoming to be something of quite a powerful force. The Congress of Rome stabilized the Balkans. The great powers of Europe joined together in Rome to negotiate the future of the Balkans, with delegates from the Ottoman Empire also in attendance. While there was much contention, ultimately it was decided that creating stability in the region was best, even if it came at the expense of the empire's powers. The Russian delegates were pleased, but Ottoman delegates left in a rage. It remains to be seen whether they will bow before the Congress demands. This is unfortunately how it should be. And more prestige for us, so... The Ottoman Empire sent word to the European powers that it will abide by the decrees of the Congress. This proves to the Italian government that they are serious about working with the rest of Europe to maintain stability, though it is clear they are angered by the results. Even more prestige. Russia likes us. The Ottomans do not. So there we go. If we take a look at the Balkan regions now, let's just pause. We've got Albania, Serbia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Bulgaria, and Romania. All up, along with Montenegro, of course, and little old Greece as well. So, the Balkans just became a bit more interesting. I'm sure the Austrians are going to be looking at this area of the world with quite a little hungry stare. Bosnia-Herzegovina received a great deal of benefit from the recent Congress of Great Powers, and it was decided that Italy deserves considerable some small influence in Bosnia-Herzegovina as compensation if we want it. Absolutely. But they're already a satellite of Austria. So that didn't take long. And they're hostile to us. But we can at least increase opinion, so now they're only opposed. Bold stance for Bosnia-Herzegovina to take. Absolutely, although I have a feeling... well, these guys look a little more in line with what we want to do, but Greece, well... Okay. Since this region of the world, well, maybe Bulgaria might work. Cyprus, absolutely. Oh, well, Greece relations was not what I meant to do, but hey, whatever. They like us a bit more, and that's fine. Albanian allies. Albania received a great deal of help from us. Oh, they're in my sphere. Look at that. Okay, well, I like that. Okay, good. Good. So I guess it kind of got divvied up via events. Let's see, there's got to be a way to check sphere of influence somewhere here. There we go. Okay, so what have we got? So that's ours. That's theirs. Russia didn't really get anything. Prussia got Greece? No, that's the UK. The UK came out fairly well. It doesn't look like France really got much either out of this whole deal. So it was really Austria and Italy that benefited. And I'm fine having, Oh, they're a satellite of the Ottoman Empire, but they're in my sphere of influence? I don't understand. Absolutely. Yeah, we got... Oh, well, Serbia is still up for grabs here. So, let's go with Europe. Let's go with Serbia and just put some points in. We are, I will admit, we are spending an awful lot of our diplomatic points to the point where we're really not gaining much influence with a lot of these places. So, we don't need to spend so much in Mexico. Or Brazil. Let's see. We could decrease the opinion of the US. We need to do that. And Mexico, or the UK, wow. Sorry, apologies to all of my UK viewers. I did not mean to imply that you guys were America or anything like that, so, forgive me. The Blight of 1837, spare no effort in relieving the plight of the poor farmers, who only really you know, are just trying to make a living. So I'm going to wait for biologism to finish, but I think we're getting pretty close to the end of this episode. How's our flashpoint tension going? 35. So we'll get there eventually. The Rupert's Land Act fails. A British act which would have seen us offered the rights to purchase all of Rupert's land from the Hudson's Bay Company has been defeated. Canadian dreams of uniting the continent from the Atlantic to the Pacific have been dashed in one fell swoop. What? So I guess that's Canada, but the rest is still British. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, my Dominion friends. Good, okay. So we got biologism researched. So that should help with, was it the Dark Continent? Yeah, that should help. So now we're only at a minus 40% because we need military logistics and steel steamers. So let's go take a look. We need military logistics, which means we need military plans, which means that's going to be our next point of research. It should come pretty quickly because it's a very old technology. It's kind of embarrassing that we're researching it at this late a date. But, you know, what can you do? Let's remove the focus on there and check our production and go to factories. Boogala, you're going to be the next one who gets clerks. So let's go. Well, no, we're focusing on the basic industry there. So maybe not. Italian Sicily? Oh, well, okay. You guys get clerks. Because these guys will help with our research. As you can see, clerks will get a bit of research. 8% is optimal, so maybe we need more than 2% per region. That might be the case, in which case, we'll go back and keep going until we get like 4% or something like that. I don't know. These are just numbers. I'm not really a numbers guy. But I still enjoy Victoria, which is, I guess, a little bit weird, a little bit different. I'm not really sure, but I love this game. Anyway, it's enough of me jibber-jabbering on all day. Let's go ahead and give this a save. And thumbs up if you guys have enjoyed this episode. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.